Hey everyone, Hydra Head here, and this is another manga. This is a Final Fantasy: The Lost Stranger. I said I need to put law or the. It's just Final Fantasy: Lost Stranger. Story is by Hazuki Menase, and art is by Itsuki Kamiya. Sorry if I pronounced those wrong, which I probably did. So this is let's see who did this. Yen Press. It's $13 American. I didn't even bother reading the background or the back cover to see what this is really about, but let's do it. Square Enix employee Shogo Sasaki has a big dream to produce his very own Final Fantasy game with his sister Yuko. But after the siblings are involved in a truck accident, they awaken to realize they've left their world behind and fallen into the world of Final Fantasy. After coming to grips with the situation, they meet some new friends, join a party, and accept their fate as adventurers. But when danger approaches, Shogo will discover that his encyclopedic knowledge of the games can only take him so far. So, this, probably like the first quarter of it, is what I think the kids call meta. It's literally these two kids that grew up loving Final Fantasy, especially our main guy, Shogo. Absolutely obsessed with it, so they wanted to work for Square Enix. They both get a job working for Square Enix, but neither of them are in the game development department. Pretty sure Shogo is an artist, and his sister Yuko might have been like sales or something, or just an assistant. Shogo really wanted to design a full-on game, though. One day, while basically bullshitting in the street, they almost get hit by a truck, and Shogo grabs Yuko to pull her out of the way, and then they wake up and they're in the world of Final Fantasy. All the people look like Final Fantasy style races and whatnot, but none of them have the same names. Some of the objects do have the same names, but for the most part they don't. A lot of the spells, skills, guilds, and other things are all there in this world, but he slowly finds out they're not all the same, and there are a lot of skills and spells that do not exist. Very important ones at that. It honestly starts off kind of immature and boring. Like, I thought it was just going to end up being like a slice of life adventure story, and I wasn't too hot on that, so it took me a little while to really get into it. But eventually something tragic happens, and I mean tragic and something that you won't expect, and that changes the whole tone of the story. It gets very serious. Well, it gets much more serious after that. And there's a whole lot of character development with Shogo. Also, we find out that his extreme nerddom has actually kind of benefited him in being sent back to this world. Not in the way that you think, but he makes use of what ability he does have. There are some kind of manga tropes I could have done without. Fucking car, seriously. But overall, I really did enjoy it, and I would recommend this. The price is kind of stupid, though. $13. That's a little ridiculous, I think. I'm a big fan of the $10 manga, but at the same time, they have to deal with licensing fees, translations, all that stuff. So it happens. We start off, of course, the first couple pages are color. This is kind of common in a lot of mangas now. Probably where that extra $3 came from. As you can see, though, the art is good, as you would expect. It's expressive. It's well done. Especially once they get into the Final Fantasy world, when we have some fantasy aspects. There's, fan service as well. Yeah, here we go. Check this out. Nice dragon. So, some of the tropes I don't like is like the bad guys are incredibly douchey, which obviously it does make you dislike them. And they're just like, I don't know, over the top, almost camp douchey. It's interesting, but it is very good. There are a lot of twists and turns and stuff that I didn't expect. A lot of surprises. Overall, I'm a big fan, and there isn't a whole lot of spots where you're sitting there like angry at the main character for being a dumbass and not understanding what's going on. For the most part, Shogo turns out to be a pretty legit main character. Oh, and another cool thing. So, I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy IX, which seems to be kind of like a redheaded stepchild of the Final Fantasy games. You either love it or you hate it, apparently. I'm a big fan. It was one of my favorites. I did not like 8 so much, but 9 came back and it, like, pulled me back into the Final Fantasy world. And they actually quote Final Fantasy IX in this and do a picture of Zidane, the main character. I thought that was really cool because 7, 9 are two of my favorites. And there's a couple other ones I like as well, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But albeit, I know my opinion is kind of biased because I'm a total Final Fantasy nerd, but I definitely recommend this. I enjoyed it, and I think other people will too. And as far as I know, this is a brand new series. It's not a reprint. Well, 2017. But all right, I think that's really about all I have to say. Definitely check this out, though. If you got the if you got the money to spend, it's well worth it. Yeah, I'm a big fan. All right, thanks for watching. Hail Hydra, baby.